Nothing will be the same again. Something invisible has already begun to change. Beneath your feet, in your decisions, in the small moments you don't even notice. Every step you've taken so far carries a silent force that can shatter structures, overturn certainties, transform relationships and opportunities. What seemed secure now wavers, and routine, work, even the very feeling of stability, seems to slip from your grasp. It's like walking on thin glass suspended in midair. You see the path, but feel the fragility, the risk that any false move could collapse everything. Every hesitation, every decision made without awareness, leaves deep scars that no one teaches you how to control. Have you ever felt that, no matter how hard you try, the world around you doesn't respond as it should? There's a fine line between maintaining control and being swept away by the tide, between confusion and clarity, between frustration and real opportunity. The stakes are high. These are the choices that shape your next month, your next year, your inner state, and, even without realizing it, your entire life. Imagine invisible waves rippling through the air around you, reacting to your presence, your energy, your breath. It is in this silent field that 5 revelations lurk, ready to turn the tide, to alter the rhythm you know, to transform subtle signals into clear answers. What separates chaos from flow is an almost imperceptible instant, a hiatus that, when recognized, alters everything. Body, mind, emotions, environment. Could you spot this shift before it goes unnoticed? Every second carries the potential for transformation. What seemed impossible to adjust, to conquer, to harmonize, reveals itself to be something simple, if you find the right frequency. A small shift in perception, an imperceptible detail in the way you breathe, feel, or act, can generate effects that spread silently but with real power. This bridge between the ordinary and the extraordinary exists, and it's closer than you think. The tension you feel now is a warning. Something big is approaching. And, between the noise of everyday life and the clarity you haven't yet seen, lies the opportunity to align every choice, every action, and every thought with what truly matters. These 5 revelations are not mere ideas. They are silent codes, subtleties that can definitively change the tide of your life. Prepare to perceive what no one warned you about, feel what few feel, and notice the shift that transforms the familiar into the extraordinary. The world doesn't change with intention or effort alone. It changes when you find the right balance, when every act, every breath, every instant connects to the flow that has always been at your disposal. Are you ready to perceive this moment? To recognize the door that opens between what you know and what you haven't yet dared to imagine? Every detail you still ignore carries the power to change everything. What you perceive now is only the surface of what moves beneath your feet. Every seemingly simple decision, every word spoken, every silence you maintained carries consequences that infiltrate your routine almost invisibly. The world reacts to your frequencies, to the signals you emit even unintentionally, and the feeling of being out of rhythm is no coincidence. It's a warning that something needs to be adjusted, felt carefully. Imagine being inside a room full of mirrors, where your every thought is reflected and multiplied, amplifying doubts and fears. You see yourself, recognize yourself, but at the same time, you feel unable to control the image that returns, as if each reflection carries its own force, shaping small realities that accumulate in silent waves. Meanwhile, most people continue to go with the flow, believing that effort and strength are enough to move what they desire. But strength without perception becomes weight, effort without alignment becomes resistance. There are times when the mind desires, but the body responds on a different frequency, creating noise that prevents meaningful change from materializing. Have you ever felt that sense of silent frustration when everything seems right, but nothing fits, and time passes, leaving trails of opportunities that slip away? It's like trying to push a door that opens inward. The more force you apply, the harder it becomes to walk through. And that's precisely where the difference begins. There's a way to perceive, to attune each step, each breath, each choice to the flow that truly matters. A subtle, almost imperceptible rhythm that transforms what seemed heavy into lightness, that converts confusion into clarity. Visualize yourself walking across a narrow bridge, surrounded by fog, unsure if each step will find firmness, but feeling, at every moment, the vibration of the path beneath your feet, revealing the right direction even before you grasp it with your mind. It's in this attunement that the opportunity arises to change old patterns, to transform small choices into effects that spread silently but with real power. That's why so many people choose to stay here, following each revelation, absorbing nuances not found in common instructions, but in the alignment between perception and action. There's something few have realized so far. The ability to listen to one's own inner rhythm is the key to anticipating the turning point, to recognizing the signs that indicate the exact moment each decision ceases to be random and becomes conscious. And even though part of this journey is just beginning, it's already possible to feel the difference, as if the air around you begins to respond more clearly, suggesting paths previously invisible. Each breath, each pause, each instant of attention awakens layers of perception that remain dormant for most, preparing the ground for the revelations yet to come. The tension you feel now isn't superficial. It permeates invisible layers of your daily life, seeping into decisions that seem trivial but carry unexpected weight. Each postponed choice, each hesitation, creates small fissures that spread silently, like cracks in a wall that slowly threatens to collapse. It's a sensation that tightens your chest without warning, weighs on your mind, and is reflected in every gesture. You try to control it, believing that effort and planning are enough, but the world responds in ways that escape your conscious understanding, as if subtle forces were governing events, testing your every reaction. Imagine being in a dark hallway, lit only by small slivers of light that shift with every step. Every shadow seems larger than it is, every reflection distorts reality, and the ground beneath your feet vibrates erratically. You feel as though any wrong move could destabilize everything, yet you're forced to move forward, to make decisions that can't wait. Fear mingles with urgency, and your breathing, even unconsciously, becomes rapid and shallow, carrying anxiety that the body perceives before the mind. It's in this imbalance that most people lose their way, unaware that force applied at the wrong moment only creates resistance and tension, keeping everything as it is. Meanwhile, those few moments of full presence are rare, almost imperceptible, but crucial. A small adjustment, a conscious pause, can transform what seemed inevitable into an opportunity. Imagine a candle trembling in the wind. A misdirected breath extinguishes the flame, but a careful movement stabilizes it, revealing the light that illuminates hidden paths in the darkness. Each step, each breath, each instant of attention determines whether you will be swept away by chaos or find clarity in movement, aligning body, mind, and environment in an almost magical, yet silent, way. The contrast is stark. On one side, fear and frustration. On the other, an opening few see, a possibility within reach but requiring keen perception, a sensitivity to sense what most ignore. And yet, even in this moment of potential, part of the transformation remains hidden, waiting for you to perceive signs that don't reveal themselves explicitly, as if the universe is saving its most important shift for the moment you're truly ready. Every shadow, every crack, every hesitation points to something greater, a secret looming, ready to change everything you believed immutable. There's a space between what you perceive and what actually happens, a nearly imperceptible place where every detail takes on meaning. It's there that seemingly small choices have a profound impact. Do you remember moments when a spoken word, a discreet gesture, or even a silence changed the course of an entire situation? Each such moment functions like an invisible thread, connecting past, present, and future, yet you barely notice its existence. It's in this space that life reveals itself in subtle layers, and you need to be careful not to let the daily rush hide signs that could transform everything. Imagine sitting by a river at dusk, watching the water reflect colors that change with each passing second. At first glance, it's just a reflection, but if you look closely, you notice patterns, movements, small ripples that indicate currents and depths. This is what happens inside you. Patterns that go unnoticed influence your rhythm, your sense of balance, and the way you react to people and events. Every breath, every thought, every gesture connects with a greater energy, invisible but real. And as delicate as it may seem, ignoring these signals creates a weight that builds, making future decisions more difficult, experiences heavier, and the world harder to read. At the same time, there's a hidden opportunity. If you learn to notice these subtleties, to align your breath, attention, and emotion, what seemed like chaos becomes clarity, and paths that once seemed blocked open up. It's as if a curtain is slowly being pulled back, revealing scenes that were previously shrouded in the fog of routine and distraction. Small pauses, moments of conscious observation, create space to perceive what's truly happening, allowing each decision to carry more purpose and lightness. It's at this point that many feel the urge to support this journey, leaving a silent signal that the message has touched them, that they've perceived something that resonates with their own experience. Still, much of this transformation remains dormant. Something greater awaits beyond immediate comprehension, a deeper layer that only reveals itself when you can attune yourself to this invisible rhythm. Every step you take, every attention you offer, brings you a little closer to this silent awakening, where previously unnoticed perceptions become clear signposts. And even now, as you feel this approach, there's a sense that the next moment will bring an even more intense revelation, something unforeseeable, but which you'll begin to perceive with your body before your mind can explain. As you observe the small signals around you, you realize there are layers that until now have remained invisible. Every emotion that arises, every tension you carry in your body, has the power to shape not only how you feel, but also how the world around you reacts. It's as if you're sailing through an ocean whose currents are invisible, and your every impulse creates silent waves that alter the direction of everything around you. The sense of control you thought you had slowly dissolves, revealing that there are subtle, almost imperceptible, forces that determine far more than you imagined. Imagine walking through a forest at dawn, where mist shrouds trails and every shadow seems to hold a secret. Precise steps make all the difference, and the way you breathe determines whether you spot hidden roots or fall into disguised traps. It is in this contrast between fear and attention, between insecurity and clarity, that life reveals its true depth. Choices that seem small carry weight that resonates beyond the mind's grasp, and each unnoticed moment can be the difference between getting lost in the maze or finding the exit no one has indicated. The curious thing is that, at the same time as the risk is intense, the opportunity also becomes more evident. Each pause, each conscious breath, creates a gap, a space where confusion dissipates and perception sharpens. Visualize it as a lake covered in mist. When the wind calms, the surface reveals perfect reflections of the sky, and you can clearly see what was previously hidden. It is at this moment that the contrast between what you fear and what you can achieve becomes tangible, and the sense of anticipation blends with the quiet responsibility to perceive. Still, not everything is revealed. Part of this change remains hidden, concealed in details that only become clear when you learn to feel the flow, to listen to the waves that go unnoticed by most. Each moment carries the potential for transformation, but it requires sensitivity, presence, and courage to perceive what lies beyond the surface. And as you feel this proximity, there is a growing awareness that something even deeper is approaching, a silent shift that promises to definitively alter what until now seemed immutable. With each passing moment, you realize that what lies before you is merely a reflection of deeper layers never before explored. Every decision you make, every gesture, every breath influences not only what you see, but also what remains invisible. Old feelings, silent patterns, energies that shape future experiences. It's like walking in a moonlit canyon, where every shadow seems to move of its own accord, projecting images that blend what is real with what the mind fears. You feel the cold, the pressure of emptiness, and at the same time, the silent beauty of the vastness that opens before you, inviting you to move forward, but demanding your attention. There's a duality to all of this. Fear and hope coexist, each amplifying the other. The sense of loss and the possibility of achievement intertwine in the same instant, as if they were two rivers running parallel, sometimes colliding, sometimes flowing in harmony, creating whirlpools that you must navigate carefully. Imagine yourself standing on the edge of a cliff, the wind blowing against you, bringing a mixture of excitement and alertness, while the landscape below transforms with every passing second. Rocks, mist, flickering lights, lengthening shadows. Each breath becomes a thread connecting heaven and earth, expectation and reality, and it is in this thread that you feel the tension building, but also the possibility of balancing forces that seemed opposed. At the same time, the life pulsating around you responds silently. Small gestures, seemingly insignificant choices, echoes of suppressed emotions, all of this resonates like notes of a song just beginning to be perceived. It is in this moment that the complexity of the experience is revealed. The same action that can generate conflict in one aspect of life can open clarity in another, and the full impact only reveals itself when you can feel it, before you can understand it. Every shadow, every ray of light, every silent pause becomes an indicator, a signal that you must interpret sensitively. And yet, most of this perception remains suspended, as if waiting for you to become capable of hearing what is unspoken, of perceiving what is not revealed. The air around you seems to vibrate, charged with a silent promise, and you sense that the turning point is near, but you don't know exactly when or how it will happen. There's a suspended breath in time, an instant that stretches and condenses, suggesting that something greater is about to reveal itself, ready to change the way you perceive each step from now on. As you begin to notice these details, every action that once seemed small takes on a new dimension. The simple adjustment of attention, the conscious choice of breathing, the way you approach each decision, all of this begins to reverberate on subtle levels, creating effects that spread silently but have a real impact. It's like planting seeds in fertile soil, At first, it seems like nothing changes, but each gesture prepares the soil, adjusts nutrients, and directs the light. What you cultivate today defines tomorrow's harvest, and each micro-choice has the potential for invisible but strategic transformation. Imagine a room full of mirrors, each reflection showing not just you but also small variations of what could happen based on each action taken. A different look, a chosen word, a moment of silence creates a series of effects that silently expand, touching the environment and the people around you. Each step becomes a catalyst, each pause, a signal. Life, which once seemed unpredictable, reveals subtle patterns, responses that align with the internal coherence you begin to cultivate. It is in this space that the contrast between effort and return, between test and result, between the tension felt as you move forward and the clarity that emerges when you perceive the right signals, arises. At the same time, there's a silent dance between risk and opportunity. What might have been ignored or considered trivial now becomes essential, because small actions no longer remain isolated. They connect, create invisible networks, and establish bridges between intention and reality. It's like watching a river that, with the slightest deviation, alters the course of the entire current, transforming banks, depth, and flow, without you even realizing it at first. Your every move begins to shape not only your experience, but also the impact you have on others, on what you want to build, on the effects that silently reverberate in your audience, on the project you cultivate. And in that moment, even if you don't yet fully understand the full extent of these connections, a natural curiosity arises, a desire to test, to perceive, to observe the signs that indicate subtle changes. Perhaps you feel the urge to comment, to record a reflection, or simply to notice something that previously went unnoticed, because something inside you understands that each insight is a piece of the same larger puzzle. And as this awareness grows, the feeling remains that something even deeper is about to reveal itself, a movement that could decisively alter the rhythm, flow, and direction of everything you've been building. As you progress, you realize that each small choice carries echoes that expand far beyond your wildest imagination. A gesture, a glance, a conscious pause at the right moment, all of this begins to generate invisible patterns, subtle ways of reorganizing the reality around you. It's like walking through an unfamiliar city at night, lit only by irregularly flickering streetlights. Each step reveals previously hidden paths, detours that can lead to narrow alleys or open, illuminated avenues. The contrast is intense. Progress and obstacles coexist, light and dark intertwine, and you realize that your every move matters, even when it doesn't seem so. Imagine yourself in a forest at dawn, where mist covers everything, but each ray of sunlight creates beams that outline paths that previously seemed non-existent. Every breath you take, every moment of mindfulness, illuminates something hidden, revealing patterns and subtleties that go unnoticed by those who don't stop to observe. And yet, no matter how much clarity begins to emerge, uncertainty remains. Shadows that shift, changes that lurk, details that will only be revealed when you're ready to perceive. This tension between light and darkness, between progress and blockage, creates its own rhythm, a cadence that demands you be present, attentive to every signal, every impulse that comes from within. What once seemed simple, isolated, or insignificant now proves strategic, connected to a greater whole. Every action you take leaves subtle traces that reverberate in multiple dimensions. In relationships, in the environment, in your own self-perception. It's like throwing a stone into a calm lake. The initial impact is small, but the ripples spread, touching shores you didn't even know existed, reaching corners previously unexplored. Perceiving this effect requires sensitivity, the ability to notice what isn't evident, to sense the movement of currents before they become evident. And amidst this flux, a silent, almost palpable anticipation lingers. You sense something even greater is approaching, something that will reveal patterns and connections that remain invisible now, but which, when they emerge, could transform the course of every decision you make from now on. The suspense doesn't resolve, it lingers, vibrant, suggesting that the next turn may be definitive, but it's still ahead, waiting for you to notice and align with the hidden rhythm that drives everything around you. As you delve deeper, you realize that each action reverberates through layers that previously seemed invisible. What seemed isolated, or insignificant now appears connected to a larger flow, where each choice intertwines with others, forming subtle patterns that shape the environment, the people around you, and even your perception of yourself. It's like walking through a vast field at dawn, where mist covers the ground and each step reveals new details. A hidden flower, a crooked trunk, a shadow that lengthens and moves almost consciously. Each observation becomes an indicator, a clue to how the surrounding energy responds, where the path opens or closes, and how small, silent adjustments can significantly alter the outcome of each movement. Duality intensifies. Light and shadow coexist so closely that it's difficult to distinguish where one ends and the other begins. The progress you sense walks hand in hand with the challenge that has yet to fully unfold. The confidence that arises with each perception intertwines with the doubt that lingers, reminding us that nothing is guaranteed, that each moment demands attention and sensitivity. It's like observing a lake during a storm. The choppy surface reveals distorted reflections, while beneath it, deep currents run silently, invisible yet powerful. Recognizing these currents, feeling the invisible flow, is what transforms a simple gesture into a real and lasting impact. Imagine yourself at the top of a mountain, looking out over valleys and rivers that stretch as far as the eye can see. Every decision you make at the summit alters the course of the waters, shifts the direction of the shadows, and redefines the landscape below in ways you couldn't foresee. And yet, there are spaces that remain hidden, trails hidden between dense trees, corners that will only be revealed when you learn to perceive the rhythm of the invisible forces that govern the movement of the whole. It is at this threshold that you begin to feel the silent responsibility for what happens within and without you, and curiosity grows, a delicate tension, as if something awaits the exact moment to reveal itself, bringing clarity and transformation, yet still keeping its essence hidden, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Now, everything you perceive around you begins to make sense in a way that previously seemed impossible. Every small action, every conscious breath, every moment of attention connects, forming an invisible fabric that sustains profound changes. It's like standing in the center of a lighthouse, where the light not only illuminates what lies before you but also reveals previously hidden paths, signaling possibilities that only become clear when you allow yourself to see with the sensitivity acquired throughout the journey. The sense of control, which was previously illusory, now blends with a real perception of flow. You understand that you don't force anything, but participate, aligned with the rhythm of what truly matters. Imagine walking through a garden at dawn, where every flower, every drop of dew, every ray of sunlight seems to bow to your presence, silently responding to the care and attention you offer. The contrast between what was before and what is now becomes clear. Fear gives way to clarity, confusion gives way to insight, and every challenge that seemed insurmountable reveals its hidden face, revealing subtle paths of conquest and learning. You realize you've been engaged in an invisible dance, where every step, every choice, every strategic pause built the bridge between what seemed distant and what now reveals itself to be near and achievable. And it is in this moment that a sense of privilege arises, of being present, of having witnessed every nuance, every revelation that few perceive, of feeling the transformation not only with your mind, but with your body, with your breath, with your very energy. You realize that everything is interconnected. What you do resonates, what you feel influences, and what you choose to observe changes the rhythm of the whole. This is where the experience completes itself, and at the same time, opens to infinite possibilities, to new discoveries that will continue to unfold as you remain attentive and aware. And as this realization sets in, a natural impulse arises. Share, comment, record, engage with what resonates within you. Not out of obligation, but as a gesture of alignment, a way to participate in the same energy that brought clarity and transformation. Like, comment, subscribe, not as an isolated action, but as an extension of this lived experience, as a silent acknowledgement that you were attentive and receptive to something greater. And now, as you breathe deeply, you feel as if you've not just followed a narrative, but become part of it. Every word, every pause, every mental image becomes a living learning experience. The privilege of being present reveals itself in every heartbeat, in every moment of awareness you maintain. The path ahead is open, clear in its complexity, and you walk with a certainty that, just as you perceive these revelations, you will continue to discover, experience, and transform everything around you with attention, presence, and intention.